Yeah, it's called Sinister.
Is it a horror?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, I think I've seen the first maybe bit of it, and then I fell asleep or something. But
I've got a new rating system. I've got a new rating system which I'm going to bring in.
Oh, that's pretty.
And it was this film which inspired me because it's got. Well, I'll get to it. And anyway, the film's about this fella, and he's a writer.
What's his name?
I think he's called Ethan Hunt.
Pretty sure that's the one out of Mission Impossible.
Ethan. You know about the actor?
No, just the character.
Oh, I don't know what it's called. No, I'm on about the actor. It's called Ethan.
Ethan Hunt's Mission Impossible, isn't it?
I don't know. Google it. It's Ethan Summer. Ethan. Oh, yeah. I'm sure his name's Ethan. He's an actor. Don't matter. Let's call him Ethan Hunt.
All right.
Right. So
Hawke!
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Yeah,
yeah. That's definitely it. Yeah, Hawke.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that is him. Yeah, that's definitely him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I swear I've seen him in a film. It was crap. But go on.
Yeah, well, it might have been this. It depends which part you watch, and that's where I'll come to the rating.
No, that's not good.
He's a writer.
Oh right. What? So, Ethan Hawke or the character is
the character.
Oh right.
Yeah. He's a writer.
Go on. Yeah.
Now he's a true crime writer. So he's not like imaginative like what we are. He don't make his own stories up, but he writes, stuff what's already happened.
He cheats a bit then.
I respect him more than somebody who doesn't write at all.
That's true. Yeah.
But I don't respect him as much as I respect me and you.
Yeah.
But in any case,
he's like riding the bike, but he's got stabilizers on.
Yeah, or an engine or something. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like an electric bike.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. He produces the movement, but doesn't necessarily pedal himself.
We take the bins out, do like a little dance or whatever, do it real amazingly.
Yeah.
He just rolls it out, puts it out.
But in any case, he's this true crime writer. And he's written this book like 10 years prior to when the film was made. And it was a massive hit. And everybody loved it.
What, the film?
No, the book that he'd written. In the film, he'd written a book.
Right, yeah.
It was a bestseller. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's real good. Then 5 years prior to the film, he'd released like another book. And it was about another serial killer. And it postulated a theory which was incorrect. And so I can't remember if like an innocent man went free or... Oh, no, that'd go. No, an innocent man got locked up or the killer got... Yeah. Anyway, his reputation was gone. And so he needs to get another big hit.
Yeah.
Now, when he's writing, he likes to immerse himself. And so he moves into the area.
Of the serial killer.
And so he's got his eye on this story.
Yeah.
And it's like an unsolved murder. And there was this family at an house. And they all got... Is it hanged, I believe is the word? Hung? No, I think it's hanged. It's a weird one. But the whole family got hanged, except for the youngest daughter. And she was missing, right? And so this had happened and never been solved. So he moves into the area and he gets really involved with it. And his wife, as they're moving into the house, his wife goes, oh, I don't want it to turn out like last time. I don't want you to get obsessed again. She goes, and I don't want to know anything about it. Just tell me we're not moving 2 or 3 doors down from the murder house. And he goes to her, I promise you that's not the case. Well, as soon as he says that, you know what's going on.
But I know what's going on.
What do you think's going on?
He's not moving 2 or 3 doors down from it. He's moving into the murder house. Yeah. Bit cheeky that though.
It is, yeah.
I don't think his wife would be very happy about that.
Little bit she's cheeky. Not when she finds out a bit later on.
Bit cheeky that.
Anyway,
if in my
it goes up in the loft. What do Americans call the loft? Attic. Yeah, it goes up into the attic or loft for our American fans. I'm sure there's no American fans because they can't understand this accent. I'm sure.
Actually, I've seen these stats. There has been a few visits. No one's bothered clicking on it. No one's bothered pressing play.
Yeah. Well, if you are in America, it's a lovely place.
Just seen there, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Because the people
Uma
Thurman.
Yeah, I never knew that. She has big feet.
Is that the one out of
Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has big feet.
Yeah, and that's why. And then she's like moving the toes and that.
Yeah, I was tripping about that.
Anyway,
so it goes up in the attic or loft.
Oh, yeah, the attic.
And he's looking around and he's like, oh, what's that? Metal box. So he goes up to it, opens it up. It's like a cine camera, you know, them old cine camera. Cine film, old-fashioned film things. Looking, he's like, oh, what's this? And looking at the labels on it, it's like family barbecue, dip in the pool, family hanging out. That sort of thing. Yeah.
A bit weird.
And he's like, oh, I'll have a look at that later on. So he takes it down to his office, and none of the kids are allowed. He's got 2 kids, I've got to say. And his son's a bit weird, does a bit of sleepwalking. His daughter's a bit weird, paints on the wall. And so he takes these things into his office.
She paints on the wall?
Yeah.
What, like, is she allowed to, or?
Only in a bedroom.
Okay.
But he takes these films to his office, and he's like watching them, family hanging out. Has a look. It's like the family who lived in the house before him, all larking around in the garden, real happy and that.
Playing like frisbee or something.
Yeah, somebody's obviously filming them from the bushes, and all of a sudden we see him being hanged from the tree, branch snapping, they're being hanged. He's like, oh God. Picks up the phone, going to ring the cops. The cops answer, he's like, hang on a minute. Puts it down and thinks, I'm a writer. I'm going to look into this a bit. Anyhow, he looks at the rest of them. Family barbecue was another family, like clearly years before, being burned in a car, dip in the pool, this family getting drowned in a thingy. And he's like, oh, God. Brilliant premise. Absolutely brilliant premise. So I really enjoyed the first part of the film.
The way is this going, is it sort of like a Fantasy Island thing? Do you know what I remember?
Fantasy Island?
Do you remember when I mentioned that in the first episode of Fantasy Island? I said it's a brilliant, it's a good idea.
In a way, yeah.
Crap execution.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And it's a shame when films like that. But anyway, carry on.
So he the cops, you know, because he messed up his second book, the cops in the village, they don't like him. They're like, oh, we don't want you here and that.
Bit of a jerk.
There's one cop who's like a deputy, young kid. Not that young, but, you know, fella.
30s?
Well, he played Ziggy out the wire. So, probably 30s, about 30.
Right.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. Can I have your autograph and that? You know, in secret. He's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll help you out. You know, help you out how you want to know. Does a bit of digging for him. And what they found out, one little tidbit of information is that the family who got burnt in the car, he sees something in the video and they're from St. Louis. And he finds out that they lived at a certain address. And the family that lived in the house what he's bought lived in that address before they moved there.
That's me. What? I don't get that.
So he's bought this house. So this family.
He's bought an house of a family who lived. What?
The family that got killed.
Right.
And he's living in their house. Right. They previously moved from St. Louis in another house. And that family was the family that got killed in the car at the family barbecue when they got set on fire. So he's like, that's a bit weird. So they'd moved from a house where previously a family had been killed. Do you see?
So, right, okay, yeah. And, so they moved from, okay. They moved to, right. Yeah.
He starts examining the videos, like, forensically. And he sees, like, there's, like, mirrors and stuff. And he sees, like, this bloke who's got, like, a real white face, like, long hair. And he's like, oh, what's he doing there? Probably the killer.
Probably.
Well, he appears in all of them, and they're, like, decades apart, these videos.
Definitely a suspect.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be. And he finds these drawings, and it says, like, Mr. Boogie or something. And the drawings of this fella and like, all the people being killed. Yeah, it's weird. And then he sees this professor. Oh no, he found some symbols on the walls as well. So he goes to this professor and he's like, oh, what's these symbols about? And the professor's like, oh, it's like a pagan god, and he was called the Eater of Children. And it's like, oh man.
Oh no.
Anyhow, that's sort of the premise, the beginning of the film. Brilliant. Middle of the film goes mental. I don't really know what's going on there. It all gets a bit like supernatural. He starts seeing these missing kids everywhere, like around the house. He goes up in the loft, looks up in the loft, and then you know the fellow with the white face I was telling you about. He like puts his face in front of him, and he's like, oh, and he falls out from the loft and lands on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sick of this. Come on, we're off. And it's like when you're watching it, you're saying, why don't you just move from the house? They've got another house. Go move to your other house. That's what you keep saying.
Yeah.
All the way through. So he gets his family and he's like, I'm sick of this. Middle of the night. Come on, we're off. Get in the car. They leave town, to go to their other house. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Because it's worth watching for the ending because I don't want to do a spoiler on it, and it's not bad at the end. But I've got a new rating system, what I was telling you about, and it was this film what inspired it. And what it was is that I'm thinking if you've got 100, split it into 3, beginning, middle, and end, you've got roughly 33 per segment. And I would give the beginning 32 out of 33.
That's pretty decent, isn't it?
Because it's an excellent premise, isn't it? You found in your loft like loads of serial killers. It's brilliant. We could have gone anywhere with that. Anywhere. But this didn't. Middle, it was bonkers. I had no idea what was going on. So I'd go like 4 out of 33. It was pretty crap.
Weird.
And then the end I'd give 20 because it wasn't bad. So if we go 33 plus 4 plus 20, that gives you like 57. So that's my rating on. I think it'd be
That's
57.
An interesting.
It's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, that is.
So let's see what it got.
So let's see what it got. Sinister on Rotten Tomatoes. So 2012.
I said 57.
Sinister 2.
Oh, I didn't know there was a 2, but
obviously
I don't know whether I'd bother with it or not.
Thought it was alright to make.
I don't think I would because now you know who the bloke is.
Yeah. Well, what was your rating then?
32, add 4, add 20. 56.
56. 63. You weren't far off.
I want far off. It's a good system, isn't it? It's a good system.
You weren't far off.